this is Homey Hobbies. Welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new. Right now, I'm getting a lot of mail. Most of it today is going to be my friends. We are having their packages sent to my house right now for the next few months, and so they receive a lot of subscription boxes, and they tend to order a lot of books, so you'll get to see what other subscriptions are like throughout this video. So the first one here is the Afterlight box. This is the second box that I've mentioned previously that illumicrate does. This is their romance box. The theme for the month of March is To the Moon and Back. And here you can see we have a description of the book. So here goes. Amory Price is jobless, newly single, and about to be evicted. The last thing she needed was to run into her ex and his new girlfriend at her favorite coffee shop. Panicked, Amory pretends to be dating the annoyingly sexy man she met. He plays along, for a price. Half the single men in Houston claim to be astronauts, but Vincent Rogers turns out to be the real deal. What started as a one-off lie morphs into a plan. For the 3 months leading up to his mission, Amory will play Vincent's doting partner. In exchange, she gets a rent-free room in his house. What Amory doesn't plan for is Vincent's gravitational pull. While her mind tells her a future with this astronaut is too unpredictable, her heart says it's exactly what she needs. As their time together counts down, Amory must decide if she'll settle for the safe life or shoot for the stars. This Afterlight edition is a B-format hardback, includes an exclusive cover, foil design, and is signed by the author, among other things. And it looks like in the Afterlight books, you also get a photo card. You can see here is our couple. I love her striped socks. Under a tent and with some shooting stars. And a note from the author that reads, "Dear Afterlight reader, have you ever seen a picture so captivating it made you wish you could jump in and live there? Or at least find a way to know what was going on before the flash of a camera froze that moment in time? For me, that image is a silhouette of two people kissing under the sky, lit up by thousands of stars. I've always enjoyed stargazing, or rather, the idea of stargazing. Living in a big city in North America means that even on the clearest of nights, I can still count the number of stars I see on one hand. Somehow, each time I've tried driving or camping to get away from the ever-constant light pollution, I run into storms and clouds that still block the view. I am so envious of the estimated 60%, a number that doesn't even seem possible, of the world population who can not only see as many stars as the eye can behold, but can also see the Milky Way galaxy without a telescope. One day I do hope to experience what it's like to look out into the endless sea of the universe, but for now I'll have to rely on pictures and my imagination, which is exactly what I did in the Kiss Countdown. That couple living rent-free in my head with their infinite kiss. It got me wondering, who are they? How did they get to that moment in time? And what happens next? I am so thrilled for you to meet Amory, a cautious event planner who wants nothing more than a safe and predictable life. So it just figures fate, or an author who loves when characters' lives are thrown upside down, would have her strike a deal to fake date a daring and sexy astronaut, Vincent. It's brought me immense joy to blend everything I love most in this story. Stars, kissing, and black joy, and I hope you will love seeing these characters fall in love. Sincerely, Etta Easton." Now, I'm not too much of the romancy type, but I am excited for my friend to read this. It sounds like a good story with your tried and true fake dating to real dating tropes. Alrighty, so here's our book, The Kiss Countdown. Here we have our couple, some stars, a rocket ship, the moon, and a city. And it's authored by Etta Easton. Here's the side and the back. "3 months until blast off. 3 months to convince everyone their fake relationship is the real deal. But as the countdown gets closer, will they ignore the gravity that's pulling them together or give in to love and shoot for the stars?" It's cringy. It's cute. I hate it. Here are the straight edges we have. It is the sky, a rocket ship, and city buildings. And when we open it up, we have the same description that we saw on the card and our artwork. So here we have their tent and our two main characters outside looking at the stars, probably in the same location where they were in the photo card. Here we have some information on our author, Ida Eaton. She's a certified hopeless romantic who writes contemporary romances and lives in Texas. Here we have more of the artwork. We see our main characters as she watches in the daytime. She looks at the stars. I'm not sure what she's looking at. And here we have our book without the sleeve. It shows a few different stars and astronaut related items, including a cup of coffee, which is probably where they first meet. And yeah, this is the book. I think it's going to be very cute. I noticed this book is much smaller than our illumicrate books. Or not much smaller, but it's a little bit smaller, so it's a bit of a shorter book. It is also a standalone, I believe, as the illumicrate books tend to be as well. And here we have our signature. So this was the month of March, and I'm just packing it back up here for my friends. I had their permission to open their boxes, but I still think it would be nice if they got it back in the same way so they can do it themselves as well. Alrighty, so that was the Afterlight box for March. And let's get onward to our next box. Now, the next book box we have is Book of the Month. This is also my friend's. Here it says, "Warning, this box may elicit excitement." But yeah, I don't know very much about Book of the Month. I don't know very much about any other subscription boxes, to be honest. But let's see what we get. So, from what I can tell, Book of the Month is a subscription box where you can get a book or multiple books every month, or you can skip months, up to you. But they give you a few options onto what books you can get, and then you choose the books you want. Now, there are some different tiers. I'm not too sure on what they're like, but from reading a quick comment online, it says the price can range from $12 to $15, probably before shipping. So here we have the Book of the Month, and it says on this side, "You've got great taste," which I'm sure my friend does. So this book is called How to End a Love Story by Yulin Kwang. And you can see up here the little emblem for Book of the Month. And there's another emblem at the bottom also saying the month the book is for. So this is the April book of the month. And here's the synopsis. Helen Zhang hasn't seen Grant Shepherd once in the 13 years since the tragic accident that bonded their lives together forever. Now a best-selling author, Helen pours everything into her career. She's even scored a coveted spot in the writer's room of the TV adaptation of her young adult novels. And if she can hide her imposter syndrome, surely the rest of her life will fall into place too. LA is the fresh start she needs. After all, no one knows her there, except Grant has done everything in his power to move on from the past, including building a life across the country. And while the panic attacks have never quite gone away, he's well liked around town as a screenwriter. He knows he shouldn't have taken the job on Helen's show, but it will open doors to developing his own projects that he just can't pass up. Grant's exactly as Helen remembers him, charming, popular, and lovable in ways that she's never been. And Helen exactly as Grant remembers too, brilliant, beautiful, and closed off. But working together is messy and electrifying, and Helen's parents, who have never forgiven Grant, have no idea he's in the picture at all. When secrets come to light, they must reckon with the fact that theirs was never meant to be any kind of love story, and yet the key to making peace with their past and themselves might just be holding on to each other in the present. As you can tell from the second book, my friend does enjoy romances, but hopefully she also thinks this is a really good book. Interesting, there's also an author's note here with some trigger warnings talking about the death of a sibling and dealings with grief. But yeah, that seems to be the book. Here we have our author description of Yulin Kwang. She's a screenwriter and director and was apparently fired from Hallmark from being too hip, which I can totally see for literally anyone. And if we look here, this is our book without the sleeve. Now, I think this is normal for Book of the Month. They just have their logo stamped in the book and the month that the book is meant for. So it's not exactly like gorgeous, but it is very old-timey. And so if that's the aesthetic you're going for, Book of the Month books definitely work for that. But yeah, so that was the book. And they also gave us a little bookmark. Page is just a number. It's just a generic bookmark, but I think this is a cute tool. Now, the next items here are actually mine, and these are not books, at least reading books. But let's get her opened up. So as you can see, I fell for the marketing, but we'll talk about that later. I have a few notes on the backpack since it's been a couple of weeks since I bought it. So the first thing we have here is a notebook. It is a nice brown color. I actually really liked this color compared to some of the others they had. They did have a black color, and I'm trying to avoid the color black, which is very contradictive of what you'll see with the backpack later. But this is by Daikoro, and it's a little note book. Now, I started a new job, like I probably mentioned before, and I just have so many things to plan, to schedule out, to move around, and to just so many things to do in general. Normally I work in food service, but I've decided to take on a different kind of role and just see how everything goes. But there we are. And ignore the bottom part. I had just put lotion on, which was obviously a mistake. But yeah. Now here we got a little card. It says thank you. And it says here on the inside, need help with your item? Please contact us through Amazon.com and click your orders. Find your order on the list, get help. Carrie, Emmy, and John, owners of Sooo. And then they added a little picture of their family, and I think this is so cute. I really enjoyed the small details that they worked on with this. And here you can see the first page. It's normal. It's just for your contact information. And when we flip inside, you'll see what the design is like for all of the pages. So on the left page, there's always going to be a date section, an appointment section that goes every 30 minutes, then a top priority section to do tasks and follow-up calls and emails. And then the other side has a notes and planning page for your daily notes. Now, I find all of this really helpful because the schedules that are built at my work really go at a 30-minute basis. And I just have so many to-do tasks that I find that there's enough lines there to get through everything I'm doing through the day. And the notes section is just really helpful because sometimes I'll be working on something and just quickly need to jot down notes for the day. It also stops me from having to use two different notebooks, an agenda book and a notebook. It's just all in one. Now this is for about 90 days, but I like it. I think that's just enough time for note-taking, and yeah, I've liked it so far. I've used it for a couple of weeks and I really enjoy it. Now with the next item, like I said, I was influenced. Like I said, I was starting a new job and my backpack has just been not working super well. The zippers have started unzipping themselves. And so I figured it was time to give a new backpack a try. I wanted something that had good reviews, but that also wasn't going to break my bank. So I ended up getting this Lovevook backpack for about $25 to $30. I can't remember exactly. Now, I will say that this backpack is, I believe, a discontinued version. They have multiple versions on Amazon, but if you go on the Lovevook website, they do have less versions of this backpack. I'm not exactly quite sure which version this backpack is either, because they are really bad on Amazon with actually naming the product or aligning the names of the product from the website onto Amazon. But I do like how this was packaged here. You can see that it was kind of packaged with care. The backpack is folded over, which some people had complaints about. Honestly, I didn't care that much. And as you can see, it came in another bag. So there's a lot of bags with this bag. Alright, so this is the Lovevook backpack, and you can see here that it came with a pouch. Some people have said it's a pouch to carry your backpack. Others have said that it's a pouch for your shoes. It seems like it would fit my backpack folded over, but I'm not sure. I haven't used the little baggie since I received the backpack. So as you can see, I got the black backpack with a leather brown accent. The reason why I got it this style was because I used to have a backpack with these type of straps that were these magnetic straps, and I actually really liked that. Now they have a few different versions as well that don't have these straps, so if you don't like them, that's fine. Now, just starting off, I had a little bit of trouble with dealing with the backpack. I don't know if it's because of the way that it was folded, but it also could just really be because of the size, because this backpack was huge. I saw someone on TikTok say that it was the Mary Poppins bag, and they weren't lying. Like, I fit most of my arm in there. It looks deep, and it is deep, I promise you. But as you can see here, while I struggle to open it and keep it open, that there are quite a few pockets in there. Here in the first one, which is a laptop pocket, you actually have a small carrying case. So there's the laptop pocket, there's a smaller one that some people use for their iPads, the main compartment. There are two compartments here on the sides, some people use for water bottles or other items. If we turn this around, you can see that there's actually two pockets on the sides there too, and two pen holders, and then another pocket right there. And then on the side, we also have a place to put your charger. Now the charger block would go inside, and you would need a separate cord to pull out so that you could charge your phone. Now, I've used it, it works, I liked it. I didn't like the fact that I had to take out a completely different charging cord, but it was fine. Here, it has some stuff in it now because I've been using it for a while. I really love using the pen pocket for my pens. I use it every day. I really only use these two pens at my work because they are multicolored pens. And here you can see that this pocket is deep. I think that's both a pro and a con. All of the pockets in the bag itself are very deep, so it actually gets a little bit hard to take out some of the smaller things. I wish there was a small pocket on the front of the bag where you could just put things. And then here, one of the holders. People say that was for napkins or for baby wipes, but it might be for mugs if you have small mugs. And there is another cup holder on the other side. And on the back here, we have luggage straps and a hidden compartment. Now this compartment is kind of long. It's a little longer than my hand. And I've heard that people tend to put documents in there, small things like passports, paperwork. That I understand. I wouldn't try to put anything bulkier like a phone in there or AirPods because you can really feel that against your back. And one thing I will say, I am someone with a small shoulder width, and so I found that the padding for the straps was a little too bulky and that the padded part was actually a little too small for my taste. I still use it every day. I still enjoy using it, and it can fit quite a bit in there. But for a backpack for $25-ish, I would say this was a pretty good deal. Again, I've only had it for 2 weeks, so take it with a grain of salt. But anyways, thank you for joining me on this week's video. I hope you enjoyed some of the products we looked at, and I'll see you next time. Bye!